you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
We're talking vitamin E and Alzheimer's disease and neuroprotection. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in this country now, responsible for untold amount of misery. Nearly half of the adults over age 85 have Alzheimer's disease. Out of nearly 6 million people with Alzheimer's disease, a lot of them don't even know they have Alzheimer's disease because there's no real way to detect it, because there's no such thing as Alzheimer's disease. It's a made-up disease. There's no real markers for Alzheimer's disease. After you die, they can look in your brain and they could see messed up brain cells. There's no real way to mark it, although recently there's been some folks thinking that by checking your saliva, they can find stress hormones that may be related to dementia. But for the most part, there's no way to detect Alzheimer's disease because there's no such thing as Alzheimer's disease. What there is rotting brain cells. This is so important, this distinction between cells and disease. And that's why vitamin E is so important. Vitamin E doesn't really do anything for disease, but it is a cell's best friend. The body's composed of cells and stuff. That's all we are, is cells and stuff. Cells and the stuff cells and the stuff the cells make. That's what we are. We're cells and stuff that comes out of the cells, like a Play-Doh extruder machine. Just like when you were a kid, you put Play-Doh in the top, you press the crank, and out come different shapes. That's what a cell does. Yes, that's simplistic, but that's basically what it's about. A cell is a Play-Doh extruder machine. It's extruding proteins, mostly, but other things too. When we're sick, there's something wrong with how that cell is extruding. There's something wrong with the extrusions. This is so important. The health of our body, first and foremost, depends on the extruder machine, on the cells, not the stuff. Doctors work on the stuff that comes out of the cells. Doctors work on the secondary materials because they're not allowed in the cells. The cell is sacred space, folks. The cell is holy, sacred space, and we need to begin to think about it that way. A cell is ridiculously complicated, ridiculously vital and life-filled. Billions of reactions are happening every minute. How do billions of chemical reactions happen every minute? Millions every second. How can this possibly occur? Well, it does. Without our busy body interfering. All we got to do is eat and breathe and make sure we're not swimming in toxicity, all of which we've screwed up. We don't eat right, we don't breathe right, and we bombard our bodies with toxicities. Of course the extruder machine cells are going to be sick. And then the doctor will fix the stuff that comes out, or he'll kill the stuff that comes out, or he'll take something out of the body. Doctors, like everybody else, don't recognize this distinction between cells and stuff. That's why they're perfectly fine with treating disease by removing and manipulating stuff, taking out organs. Dermatology and plastic surgery are the worst, by the way. I've been working with dermatologists for years now. They'll actually inject stuff into the skin. If you're not making enough collagen, if your collagen-making cells, your fiber-making extruder machines are messed up and collagen doesn't come out or it comes out defectively, they'll actually inject it. We'll actually go for a procedure where they will inject stuff into our skin. On the other hand, while the doctor's not welcome into the cell, while the medical model is barred, rejected from this sacred domain of the biological cell that makes up our bodies, God's welcome through food, through nutrition, through oxygen. Not to mention through more abstract elements like our emotions and our thoughts, which get transferred into hormones. Hormones, by the way, act as little switches that turn on the extruder machine. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, food, nutrition, detoxification. I don't really like that word detoxification, but avoiding toxicity. This is how the body's meant to be healthy. This is such good news. If you have a chronic degenerative disease, this should be the best news you've ever heard. It means that we can heal ourselves. This is so amazing. If you have diabetes, you can reverse it. If you have Alzheimer's disease, you can slow down its progression and reverse it. If you have cancer, do you know cancer can be reversed? Remissions occur. Yes. We've known about cancer remissions for hundreds of years. Certainly autoimmune disease. There's some 30, 40, maybe 50 million people that have autoimmune diseases, type 2, type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis. All of these things are reversible. All of these things, even if you don't reverse it, you can slow down its progression, but not with a drug, not with a doctor. This is a hypnotic trance we're under, that we think that a doctor can do anything for us. And I'm not ripping on doctors here. I'm ripping on the model. No one has cancer. We have cells that have switched into cancer growth. No one has heart disease, but lots of people have sick heart cells. No one has diabetes. We have sick pancreas cells, or we have sick cells everywhere that aren't responding to the garage door opening effects of insulin, of the hormone insulin. No one has respiratory disease. Do you know respiratory disease is like the third or fourth leading cause of death in this country? And no one has respiratory disease. People have sick respiratory cells. See the distinction we're making here? If you think you have this thing called respiratory disease, you're like, what the heck do I do? But if you realize that it's just lung cells that are messed up, and it's really in that way no different than liver cells that are messed up when you have hepatitis or liver disease, or skin cells that are messed up when you have psoriasis or skin disease, or heart cells that are messed up when you have heart disease, it simplifies everything. And that really is what this is all about. Simplification. Simplexity. I love that word, simplexity. I'll tell you what that is when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria, which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Why be held hostage by your wireless carrier for 2 years? What if you had no contract, no activation fees, no hidden costs, tracking, tracing, harvesting customer data, or draconian gimmicks, all on the nation's best 4G LTE network? Introducing Pix Wireless. Bring your phone and other qualifying devices to Pix and choose a plan starting at only $14 a month. Get connected now. Call or click 1-866-267-2056 or pixwireless.com. Spelled P-I-X, wireless.com. Pick Pix and get connected today.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
Rainier Distillers designs and builds custom copper stills for home purification of water, distilling alcohol, essential oils, cannabis oil, and ethanol fuel. Use these distillers at home to remove all those nasty chemicals that are added to your public drinking water by fluoridation, resulting in pure, safe drinking water for you and your family. Call RainierDistillers.com at 360-446-8998 and check out their website at RainierDistillers.com, located in Seattle, Washington.
We're talking about Alzheimer's disease. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is neuroprotective, one of the best vitamins for the brain cells. Maybe, I don't want to say the most important, but it's in the top 10, that's for sure. If you're dealing with dementia issues, memory issues, cognitive impairment, or you have a loved one or friend or family member who's dealing with any kind of mental health issues, get them on vitamin E. Mixed tocopherols, mixed tocotrienols. There's 8 different kinds of vitamin E, as we've said in the past. Alzheimer's disease is a big problem. The number of people with Alzheimer's disease may triple by 2050, according to the journal Neurology, the medical journal of the American Academy of Neurology. This increase is due to an aging baby boom generation. No, it's not. This increase is due to us not taking care of ourselves, to eating the way we're eating. And by the way, don't buy into this silliness about the genetics of it. Oh, you have the gene. Oh, it's in your family. There's a lot of misunderstanding in the world of health and nutrition, but really, there's nothing that's more misunderstood than genetics. If anybody ever tells you the gene for this or the gene for that, if you ever hear that phrase, gene for this, oh, it's the gene for Alzheimer's disease. Oh, you have the gene for breast cancer. They don't know what they're talking about. That's not how genes work. It's not like you have a gene for this and a gene for that. This is cartoon talk. This is baby talk. Genetics is incredibly complicated, number one. Genes are networked. They're connected with each other. You can't just play around with genes. This is the problem with genetic modification, by the way, GMO. Genes are networked. They're connected. They're linked. They operate as a team. Like everything in the body operates as a team. The body is a whole. There's no separation in the body, and you can't take out a gallbladder and not expect the rest of the body to be messed up. Likewise, you can't remove a gene and expect the whole genome not to be messed up. These genes are linked. Genes are responsible for various proteins. Scientists say they're pleiotropic, which means that one gene can affect dozens of different chemical reactions. One gene can produce dozens of different proteins. And you don't have a gene for this or a gene for that. Simplistic baby talk. It's not how genes work. Genes are networked. And what's more, genes respond to the inside of a cell and especially to the outside, the membrane and the environment. Genes turn on and off. There's a small amount of genes in the genome, which is all your genes. There's a small amount of genes that are hereditary for your eye color maybe and your hair. Even those can probably be changed, but about 5 or 10, maybe 10% of the genes are permanent, but 90% of them are turning on and off responsive to the environment. So nobody has a gene for Alzheimer's disease, even though you'll hear people say this. There's a gene that's associated with Alzheimer's disease, but sometimes people get Alzheimer's disease, sometimes they don't, and they have this gene. It's called the APOE4 gene. 1 in 5 people carry this APOE4 gene for Alzheimer's, but people get Alzheimer's with or without the gene. Genetics is involved, but the genetics is responsive to the environment. Sugar will change genetics. Lack of oxygen or oxygenation will change genetics. That's really what we're talking about here when we talk about the power of nutrition, the power of thought, the power of emotions and feeling, the power of oxygenation and respiration, the power of exercise, the power of rest. You don't need a doctor for any of this. Power of rest, no doctor required. Power of exercise, no doctor required. Power of nutrition, no doctor required. Power of oxygenation, no doctor required. Power of detoxification or eliminating toxicity, no doctor required. All of these steps that we can do ourselves this is the bright side, this is the good news, all of these steps that we can do ourselves work by changing genetics. So don't let anybody tell you you have the gene for this and the gene for that, and don't say it. It's not accurate. As far as Alzheimer's disease go, think dying, rotting brain cells, period. Think cells that aren't doing their business, period. Think starving, suffocated brain cells, swimming in sugar, by the way, toxicity. This is really a problem when it comes to Alzheimer's disease, is insulin and sugar. And I am not going to rip on sugar any more than I have to, because I'm a sugar addict as much as anybody. You know, if I'm hypoglycemic, low blood sugar, I got the same kind of neurochemistry that we all have. We're neurochemically, neurologically hardwired to go for sugar, especially under conditions of stress, emotional stress or physical stress, or nutritional deficiency. This is why people lose weight on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Under conditions of nutritional deficiency, you will crave sugar. Under conditions of protein deficiency, we'll crave sugar. Under conditions of micronutrient deficiency, B vitamin deficiency, we will crave sugar. So if you want to lose weight, and sugar is the number one reason why we gain weight, you want to lose weight, get on a nutritional supplement program. You want to lose weight, get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You want to lose weight, eat more protein. You want to lose weight, make sure you're focusing on digestive health, using strategies for digestive health. Probiotics support the microbiome, digestive enzymes, the Fuchs Z. And by the way, don't underestimate the importance of emotional stress and mental stress when it comes to weight loss. Last week we read a study about stress and weight gain. This is one of the major reasons why we gain weight. Emotional stress, mental stress, in addition to physiologic stress. The conventional wisdom about Alzheimer's disease is that it's a buildup in the brain of beta amyloid plaque, and now doctors have a new boogeyman. They call it tau protein. Others tell you it's fluoride and aluminum, and the latest boogeyman is chlorine and fluoride. Of course, then you get a magic formula that helps you get rid of fluoride, or a filter that gets rid of fluoride. I'm not saying fluoride's good, by the way. Fluoride definitely has effects on the brain. That's part of the whole toxicity profile. So it's the toxicity that we've inoculated or injected into our environment. Absolutely, that's got an effect. But it doesn't do us any good to moan about chemtrails and fluoride in the water and chlorine in the water and toxicity when we're intentionally toxing out our bodies. Alzheimer's disease involves fibers, true. But fibrosis is a classic way that cells manifest their breakdown. And it actually might be, and I'm not convinced, I'm thinking here, fibrosis, which is the secretion of fibers, pulmonary fibrosis in the lungs, cystic fibrosis in the pancreas, fibrosis in the brain, fibrosis in breasts and ovaries and for women. I'm thinking that fibrosis may not necessarily be a dysfunction. It may be one of the ways the cell defends or protects against broken tissue, against destroyed tissue. Maybe the brain is rotting so much that cells secrete fibers as a way of patching up the rot. Sort of like caulking in a broken down wall or a broken down building. In any case, yes, fibrosis is involved, but fibrosis follows toxicity. Fibrosis follows sickness. And don't underestimate the importance of estrogen. Estrogen is really interesting stuff, folks, and we don't really talk about it the way we should be talking about it. Estrogen is associated with inflammation and toxicity and protecting yourself from estrogen. Now, that's something that could be important, and vitamin E is estrogen protective. Memory loss associated with Alzheimer's reversed. I love this one. You can reverse memory loss. This is a study done from UCLA. And you know how they did it? A 36-point therapeutic program involving diet. Hello, where'd you hear that before? Nutritional supplementation, exercise, optimization of sleep. I love that one. Do you know there's a very important connection between lack of sleep and a toxic buildup of chemicals in the brain? For everybody, really, but especially for Alzheimer's. From the journal Nature Neuroscience, this is from June of last year, sleep may be a missing piece in the Alzheimer's disease puzzle. Sleep, particularly a deficit of deep restorative sleep, is a channel through which the proteins, the tangles, believed to trigger Alzheimer's disease, attacks the brain's memory. So again, you see, it's not the tangles, it's not the nerves, it's not the fibers, it's the stuff that precedes it. That's really the key. We don't see the preceding causes. All effects have causes, but sometimes those causes are invisible. In fact, they're always invisible. In the case of cancer, all cancer begins with one cell. All disease begins with one cell, then 2 cells, then 3 cells. But because there's so many cells and because they're so small, we don't notice it. But rest assured, behind every effect, every symptom, every sign of a degenerative disease, whether it's pain or in the case of Alzheimer's, cognitive problems, there are invisible causes. That's the trick right there, folks. We got to learn to see or to sense invisible causes. We've got to become attuned to the invisible world. That's why people are marginalized thoughts and emotions and feelings and spirituality. This is why we marginalize and we're so dismissive of these ideas. Your doctor probably thinks it's a joke. Oh, your thoughts affect your reality. Ha, 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 ha. Your feelings affect your reality. Ha. They don't do it as much anymore because now it's been scientifically shown, and there's actually scientific journals that talk about the link between emotions and the immune system, for example. But they used to, and a lot of them still do, because we don't notice the invisible world, because we live in this materialistic world, which is a vestige of the Enlightenment 600 years ago. That's when science really got going, about 600 years ago. And actually it was a response to the real crazy spirituality of the Middle Ages, of the Dark Ages. In the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages, they knew about the invisible world, but they had kind of silly feelings about it. They didn't really know about it. They attributed disease to clouds in the air, or to evil gods, or to... I read this book once. In the Middle Ages, one of the causes of disease was the number 9. I don't know how that worked, but that's what it said in this book anyway. Or little elves that shot arrows at you. I'm not kidding you. This is what they really thought. Little elves that shot arrows at you. So science was a response to that kind of crazy deification of the invisible, crazy honoring of the invisible. But today, we got to come full circle, and we got to recognize that thoughts and feelings have invisible energy associated with them. Yes, every time you think a thought, there's energy that's emitted from your brain. You can detect it with an EEG machine, an electroencephalogram machine. You can actually detect your thoughts. There's thoughts that come off. There's energy that comes off of our head after we think, or as we're thinking thoughts, and that same energy affects our body. It affects the shape of our bodies. It affects the shape of our cells. Now that's really where you can have an effect on disease. But to depend on just what we could see with our own eyes, this materialistic way that medicine works on the body, it doesn't serve us, and the evidence is in the utter failure of the medical model when it comes to addressing degenerative health challenges. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health, nutrition, or prescription drugs, or skin health issues, or formulations, or ingredients, or if you have a success story you'd like to share, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. Stephen in PA. What's going on? Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Ben. Ben, I have basically on those little elves that shoot the shoot the arrows. I heard on there was witnesses back when the Black Plague was going through Europe that the Grim Reaper with the sickle.
Yeah, they saw him.
People spraying sprayers with spraying agricultural sprayers, spraying mist.
To get rid of the Grim Reaper or something?
No. To I guess maybe, who knows, start it or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. This is what they believed. That they didn't know about germs. Germs were invisible. They had no idea. They didn't even know what rotting was. They would dump their excrement in their front lawns because they didn't understand that there were these invisible components to the disease process. So, yeah, we're not much better today.
Well, that's what I'm calling to discuss the silent signaling proteins. I had listened to another show where regarding old age and aging. I believe they call it sentience.
Sentience, yes. Senescence. Senescence.
And the SERT signaling proteins. There's a SERT1.
Those are genetics. Those are genes. The SERT gene, yes.
And what they're finding out now nutrients called NAD plus, which is also called...
It's involved in energy production. It's part of B vitamins. It's part of niacin, nicotinamide, adenosine, something or another. It's a niacin derivative.
Nicotinamide riboside.
Okay.
And that is, it's a form of vitamin B3.
But what are they getting at here? What's the major point here, Steve?
What they're saying is that these SERT genes, let me see, 3 of them, there's 7 of them, 3, 4, and 5 enhance the mitochondria.
Well, you see, but here's the thing, Stephen. You're getting way too in-depth. I mean, it's fun and it's interesting, but for somebody who has Alzheimer's disease, they don't need to know about SERT genes and NAD, and although niacin can be very helpful for the brain, by the way, very important brain.
I don't know if niacin even has this nicotinamide riboside.
Nicotinamide is niacin. Nicotinamide is a derivative of niacin.
Okay, it's a form of B3, but this particular stuff, it halts the aging. It stops, I guess, the environment of the cell. It starts putting out these toxins.
What is the stuff, though? What is the stuff, Steve? Is it the NAD you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a nicotinamide. Riboside is the exact name of the supplement.
All right, well, here's the deal. You don't need they're trying to sell that maybe, but here's what you want to do. Get yourself some niacin, because that really is important. By the time you get to these fine derivatives, these refined derivatives of the niacin, the body has many mechanisms for controlling that. What you want to give your body is the precursors, and let the body make the NAD. And the major precursors are the B vitamins. That's why I call them the brain vitamins. The B vitamins are the brain vitamins, particularly niacin, by the way. You know, if you have Asperger's syndrome or social anxiety syndrome or any anxiety issues, high doses of nicotinamide, high doses of niacin have been shown to help calm the brain down. Niacin's involved in the production of serotonin, an important brain chemical, tryptophan. There's a relationship between niacin and tryptophan, which is an important brain amino acid. So, point well taken, Stephen. Niacin is very important for the brain, as are all the B vitamins. I'm going to let you go, buddy. Unless you have
one question before you go.
Sir.
But the niacin is a niacinamide. It's not nicotinamide.
They're but very, very similar, extremely similar to each other. Nicotinic acid, niacinamide, niacin, they're pretty darn close. For all intents and purposes, they're vitamin B3. Stephen, have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you for bringing that up, my friend.
Bye.
Take care. Okay, hang tight if you're on hold. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. Okay, we are back on the bright side. Let's go to Virginia in Ohio. What's going on? Welcome to the bright side. Good morning, Virginia.
Hello.
Hello. What's cooking?
Yeah, I've been on longevity products for a couple years now, and I'm having some skin issues.
Okay, tell me about them, Virginia.
Okay, probably for 30 years or so, my palms of my hands are dry and they're cracked.
Got it.
And itchy.
Just your palms? Anywhere else in the body?
No. The last probably 3 years, I've had where my buttocks rub together.
Okay.
There is dry.
Got it.
It's all dry
Here's
there.
the deal.
And
Let me explain to you how that works, okay?
Okay.
When you look at your skin, it just looks like one thing, but you got to zoom in with your X-ray vision, your imaginary X-ray vision, and see layers. What you're explaining there, the way you're describing your condition, is the top layers of that skin. Hey, Keith, will you turn that down? Keith, please. Having an echo. Can you hear an echo there, Virginia?
No.
Okay. I'll just have to deal. Maybe you have your radio on.
No.
Your radio on. No?
No.
All right. I'll have to deal with it then. All right. So if you want to look at your skin, you'll see you have to picture in your imagination layers. What you're explaining is the top layer is not growing correctly. Period.
Right.
This has to do with fats and fatty vitamins. Any condition on the surface of the skin, the way you're explaining, where it doesn't develop appropriately, that's called eczema, by the way, but it can also be something like dry, flaky skin. You want to consider fats and fatty vitamins, and that means digestion or absorption of fats and fatty vitamins and intake of them. So number one, all right, Virginia, you there? Do we have Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. Number one, vitamin A, 20,000 international units a day. Number two, vitamin D, I'm just going to deal with it here for a second, Keith. Don't worry about it. 5,000 international units a day of vitamin D, 400 international units a day of vitamin E. Make sure you're taking your ultimate EFAs with all of that. All the A and the D and the E, you're going to have to take extra. But your ultimate EFAs, I'd be doing 9 of them a day. Now, if you're not absorbing, and very commonly as we get older, especially women get older, malabsorption of fats occurs. So you may take your fats but not benefit from them. So using supplements that can help you process and absorb and assimilate those fats is also important. Making sure you're using all your fatty vitamins and essential fatty acids with food, especially fatty food. And it wouldn't hurt you to throw in the ultimate enzymes with your fatty food and with your vitamin E, A, and D, and ultimate EFAs. And then if you want, you can get yourself some extra bile salts, B-I-L-E, bile salts, and make sure you do the whole thing with apple cider vinegar to activate the enzymes and get yourself some help support stomach acidity. And then last but most certainly not least, probiotics, good bacteria, play a major role in the absorption and digestion of fats. Now, if you have any digestive issues that are triggered by foods, you're going to want to eliminate those foods because food allergies can also cause disruptions in how that upper layer of your skin grows. But mostly you want to consider that you're not making or you're not processing fats correctly, either through a lack of intake of fatty vitamins and EFAs or a lack of absorption, and it has to do with the fatty layer on the very, very surface of the skin. The reason you're noticing it on your butt cheeks and the reason you're noticing on your hands is because those areas are rubbing against each other, and in the case of your hands, you're using the palms of your hands a lot, so that area breaks down faster than other parts of the body, the skin on other parts of the body. I got a bunch of calls here I want to get to. I hope I helped you out. One last thing, if you use my Omega-6 healing cream, Truth Omega-6 healing cream on the area, that'll accelerate the healing. Thanks for your call, Virginia. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. All right, let's go to Carol in Baltimore. What's up? Welcome to the bright side, Carol.
Hey, hi, thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I've got a question about my sister, and then I've got a question about me.
Sure.
My sister loves doctors. Loves doctors.
Okay. That's all right.
And
doctors
so
need love, too. We beat up on doctors a lot. They need some loving, too. We all need love, including doctors. Okay.
But,
all right, so, yes, go ahead.
So far, they've got her uterus, and they just got her gallbladder. And I'm afraid the next thing will be her thyroid. She had terrible gallstones, so she had emergency gallbladder surgery, so they've got that now. But for years, she's been on estrogen replacement, and then she went on thyroid. And they had her taking calciferol, which I just got her off of. But I'm wondering if any of those things caused the gallstones. Hello? Hello?
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us and advertise at GCNlive.com. And an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise at GCNlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to GCNteam.com.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to GCNteam.com.
Rainier Distillers designs and builds custom copper stills for home purification of water, distilling alcohol, essential oils, cannabis oil, and ethanol fuel. Use these distillers at home to remove all those nasty chemicals that are added to your public drinking water by fluoridation, resulting in pure, safe drinking water for you and your family. Call RainierDistillers.com at 360-446-8998 and check out their website at RainierDistillers.com, located in Seattle, Washington.
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs has learned the importance of good fats for good health. Good fats are essential fatty acids, and they're called essential because they're necessary for good health. That's why he uses Ultimate EFAs from Youngevity.
Among the fats, the most powerful are two fats that are referred to as essential fatty acids. Now, nothing in the world of nutrition is more important than essential fatty acids. The word essential means you better get it in your diet or you're in big trouble. Essential fatty acids are perhaps the most multifunctional and versatile of all the essential nutrients. Essential fatty acids are not just important for the heart, they're important for everything in the body.
To get the essential fatty acids that are so important to your body, order Ultimate EFAs from Youngevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. fortressclothing.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.